afternoon. This is Michelle Cummings-Steele, Chair of the Metropolitan Parks and Recreation. I would like to call this meeting of the Metropolitan Board of Parks and Recreation to order. For each commissioner, I want to ask if you're present. Commissioner Anderson.
Present.
Commissioner Haynes.
Present.
Commissioner Hughes. Commissioner Johnston.
Present.
Commissioner Scott Barnes.
Present.
Hey, this is Macy Amos. It does look like Commissioner Hughes is here. I don't know if we had her marked as present.
Okay, I was just looking at the participants and I do see her on the call. I would like to make a note for the record that Commissioner Gentry is absent today. Commissioner Hughes, we do see you. Thank you so much, Macy. We appreciate it. The Parks Board must vote on the record that the COVID-19 pandemic requires it to hold a telephonic meeting as permitted under the Governor's Executive Order number 16, and that contrary rules are suspended. If anyone would like to propose a motion to adopt the telephonic meeting, please raise your hand and I will call on you. Commissioner Scott Barnes.
I make a motion to suspend the rules.
Thank you so much. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Haynes. I was looking for it. I apologize. It's been properly moved and seconded. I have lost my place. I'll go through the list of those in attendance. Commissioner Anderson.
Approve.
Commissioner Haynes.
Approve.
Commissioner Hughes. Commissioner Hughes, are you on the phone? Are you present?
Excuse me, this is Monique Odom. I just got a message from Commissioner Hughes that she cannot hear anything. She is on the line but can't hear anything. But so I will have our technical folks work on that.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Johnson.
Yes.
Commissioner Scott Barnes.
Approve.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to add a note for our audience. For those listening at home, the Parks Board members here are calling in remotely. They are in separate places. When I ask them to raise their hand, that's an action occurring through the software. Appeal of decisions. Pursuant to the provisions of 2.68.030 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, please take notice that decisions of the Metropolitan Board of Parks and Recreation may be appealed to the Chancery Court of Davidson County for review under a common law writ of certiorari. Any appeal must be filed within 60 days after entry of a final appeal. Final decision by the board. Any person or other entity considering an appeal should consult with an attorney to ensure that time and procedural requirements are met. Have you all had an opportunity to read the minutes from our November meeting? Is there a motion for approval? Please signify by raising your hand and I will call on you. Commissioner Johnston?
Yes.
Can you mute your phone for me?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Scott Barnes?
I move to approve the minutes.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Hughes? Commissioner Haynes?
Second.
Thank you so much. It's been properly moved and seconded. I'll go through a roll call of the commissioners that are present. Commissioner Anderson?
Approve.
Commissioner Haynes?
Approve.
Commissioner Hughes?
Approved.
Thank you. Commissioner Johnston?
Approve.
Commissioner Scott Barnes?
Approve.
Thank you so much. We'll move now to Metro Council referrals. Are there any referrals from council members present? Director Odom?
Councilmember Van Reese is present with us today.
Good afternoon, Councilmember Van Reese.
Hello and happy December. It took forever to get here and yet it suddenly is upon us.
It's upon us.
Just greetings from the council. I'm here again to observe and chime in when appropriate. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your time today. Moving now to old business, seeing none, we'll move now to the consent agenda. I will accept a motion to accept the consent agenda in its entirety. Commissioner Haynes,
Move approval of the consent agenda.
thank you so much. Commissioner Hughes,
Second.
thank you so much. It's been properly moved and seconded. I'll go now through the roll call vote. Commissioner Anderson,
Approve.
Commissioner Gentry, I apologize, Commissioner Haynes,
Approve.
Commissioner Hughes,
Approve.
Commissioner Johnston,
Approve.
Commissioner Scott Barnes.
Approve.
The motion passes. Thank you so much. We'll move now to new business. 12-20-04, Mr. Gary Gaston, CEO of the Civic Design Center, requests board approval to raise funds in the amount of $50,000 in support of the design and construction process and documents for the future realization of the park at Madison Station. Is there a recommendation from staff?
Staff recommends approval.
Thank you so much. Believe that Gary Gaston is on the line. If our commissioners have any questions, I will note that I am a board member with the Nashville Civic Design Center for the record. Are there any questions? If anyone would like to propose a motion to this effect, please raise your hand and I will call on you. Commissioner Hughes?
I move that we accept this proposal.
Is there a second? Commissioner Anderson?
Second.
Okay. We're going to move to discussion. Councilmember Van Reese, I see your hand.
Yes, I just wanted to chime in, since this is also in my district, that there has been a number of enthusiastic conversations already that have taken place amongst the community. I have been in contact with the Civic Design Center on this project, and it has both my enthusiastic support as well as that of the community.
Thank you so much for that comment. Are there any other comments from the board? We'll go through a roll call vote. Commissioner Anderson?
Approve.
Commissioner Haynes?
Approve.
Commissioner Hughes?
Approve.
Commissioner Johnston?
Approve.
Commissioner Scott Barnes?
Approve.
Thank you so much. The motion passes. Moving now to 12-20-05, Mr. John Tuminello, Executive Director of the Centennial Parks Conservancy, requests the board to accept an in-kind grant valued at $6,876 for the purchase and installation of track lighting in the Parthenon Art Gallery. Is there a staff recommendation?
Staff recommends approval.
Thank you so much. If anyone would like to propose a motion to this effect, please raise your hand and I will call on you. Commissioner Hughes.
I move that we accept this in-kind grant from the Centennial Park Conservancy.
Thank you so much. Is there a second to this motion? Commissioner Haynes.
Second.
Thank you so much. It's been properly moved and seconded. Are there any questions, any discussion regarding this motion? Seeing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Commissioner Anderson?
Approve.
Commissioner Haynes?
Approve.
Commissioner Hughes?
Approve.
Commissioner Johnston?
Approve.
Commissioner Scott Barnes?
Approve.
Thank you so much. The motion passes. 12-20-06, staff recommends board approval to enter into a license agreement between the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, acting by and through the Board of Parks and Recreation and the United States of America, acting by and through the Department of the Army, to enter certain parks operated and maintained by the Department of Parks and Recreation for limited training purposes. Is there a staff recommendation?
Staff recommends approval.
Thank you so much. If anyone would like to propose a motion to this effect, please raise your hand. Commissioner Hughes.
I move that the board approve the extension of this agreement.
Thank you so much. Is there a second? Commissioner Scott Barnes?
Second.
Thank you so much. It's been properly moved and seconded. I will now, are there any questions or comments regarding this motion, this proposal? Seeing none, I will now move through the roll call vote. Commissioner Anderson?
Approve.
Commissioner Haynes?
Approve.
Commissioner Hughes?
Approve.
Commissioner Johnston?
Approve.
Commissioner Scott Barnes?
Approve.
Thank you so much. The motion passes. 12-20-07 Nashville Electric Services requesting a 20-by-5 easement on Orchard Bend Park along Pettus Road, parcel number 17400000700 to install a pole wire anchor. This will be deferred to our acquisition committee. We're moving now to capital projects update. We'll call on Tim Nash. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Steele. I will just mention projects that have had changes in status since last month. I hope that most of you were able to join us remotely, at least, for the opening of Cassie Gardner Park. That project is complete. And if you have not had an opportunity, I would encourage you to go by and visit the park in person. It's on Jefferson Street at 16th Avenue North. The Madison Tennis Court reconstruction project is complete. We've just got some punch list items we're working on there. And then at Centennial Park, phase 2 construction continues. However, we were able to open the Great Lawn, the West LA, and most of 27th Avenue before the Thanksgiving holiday. So that would also be a great trip to check out if you are so inclined. Happy to answer any other questions, but those are the big changes from last month. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions from the board? All righty, seeing none, we'll move to upcoming special activities and events. Good afternoon, Jackie Jones.
Good afternoon. So I've got a couple of events to tell you about. This Friday, December 4th at 6 p.m., we have the mayor's tree lighting ceremony scheduled at Public Square Park. Of course, this is a virtual event that will be streamed live. Most of you know our landscaping division is responsible for curating and decorating the city's Christmas tree. So if you get a chance, please check it out. Also on December 4th is a kickoff for the Centennial Art Center's annual Student Teacher Holiday Art Sale. I know many of you in the past have heard me talk about this. This is an annual event that offers the public an opportunity to purchase some really unique one-of-a-kind items, everything ranging from pottery and sculpture to fine art. And the sale ends on December 16th. At 5 p.m. on Thursday, December 10th, Mayor Cooper will join the Jewish community leaders to virtually celebrate the start of Hanukkah during the 2020 menorah lighting ceremony at Public Square Park. The event, of course, is virtual and will be streamed live on Mayor Cooper's Facebook page and on the Metro Nashville Network, which is Comcast Channel 3. Then on December 12th, we have the Centennial Youth Ballet's annual performance of the Mini Nutcracker. This year, the performance has a different twist. It will be performed on the big screen at the Field at Franklin's Drive-In Theater. Now, instead of being shot in a theater, the ballet was filmed outdoors at various park locations like Fort Negley, Stone Hall, and the Sunken Garden at Centennial Park. There will be 2 performances, one at 12:30 and one at 2:30. Tickets are $35 per car, and you'll be interested in knowing this is the 39th year of this performance. That concludes my report.
Thank you so much. Report of the director. Director Odom, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and Park Board members. I would like to begin my report with welcoming Ms. Mary Peoples to our parks team. Mary joined our team last week and is training with Janet Frazier to take over as my assistant in the next several weeks. Janet has been gracious enough to help us to work to support a smooth transition. As you know, Janet has been with us for a long time, and it is bittersweet that she has decided to progress, move on. She'll always be a part of the Parks family, but I did want to take this opportunity this won't be the only opportunity, but this opportunity to thank Janet for her service to the department, and then also to welcome Mary Peoples to our team, and to ask if you all, our board members, if you have the opportunity to stop by the office or call in, if you make Mary feel at home. Appreciate that. As I reported during the last meeting, the proposed referendum for repealing the property tax increase will not move forward. And so our operating budget remains as it was passed on July 1st of this year. We do have a mid-year budget meeting with the finance department later this month to evaluate the status of our budget and discuss next steps in moving forward in terms of spending reductions and revenue. So I'm looking forward to that discussion, and we'll update you as we after we have that meeting. Shanita White, who leads our Finance and Administration Division, is coordinating with Commissioner Hughes to coordinate a finance subcommittee meeting for the Parks Board. As you all will recall, all Park Board members are members of that committee. So please be on the lookout for that meeting invite. Additionally, Janet Frazier is in the process of coordinating a meeting of our policy committee working group. And that group is comprised of Commissioner Gentry, Commissioner Haynes, Ms. Amos, and myself. And we will meet as a small working group to make revisions or propose revisions to the naming policy, and then submit those to the policy committee so that we can move forward with any requests that are before the board at this time. Some of you may know that Metro Nashville Public Schools have moved back to remote learning. As such, our MNPS Essential Worker Support Program that is administered through our Community Centers Division will accommodate that program and any students that are out of school. So the neighborhood hours will revert to 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and then regional centers will operate from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. And these hours will stay in place until MNPS has confirmed their learning format going forward. I think their winter break starts December 17th. And we typically host young people during that time. We will have a modified programming, for that, but we will look to MNPS to make a decision about, whether they go back virtual or in person, and we will kind of fall in line to support them how they need us. Youth basketball is currently on hold until we get the green light that it's okay to move forward and safe to move forward. Typically, I think it starts youth basketball sometimes starts in November or December with games starting in January, and we are going to pause on that in the interest of safety. We, of course, are staying closely in contact with the health department to give us appropriate health guidance. I want to say a thank you to Greenways for Nashville for posting additional COVID-19 signage throughout the park system and at the trailheads. There's updated graphics on these signs, and they are a part of our extended team and we appreciate all of their support, every bit of support that we can get, particularly in helping folks who visit parks and greenways and open spaces stay safe. All that helps. I'd like to thank again the Nashville Parks Foundation for sponsoring our annual employee holiday event. Again, as I mentioned, it will be a bit modified from last year. We will not have a buffet style meal or entertainment or anything like that. I will send you updated information about how the format of the event, but I'm very pleased that the Nashville Parks Foundation has seen fit to acknowledge our parks teammates in the way that they can, particularly given this challenging year. The event will be on December 11th, and as usual with this event, we are also taking this as an opportunity to collect toys and non-perishable food donations. We will deliver those to appropriate charities after we collect those on behalf of the Parks Department. So if you would like to contribute, again, I'll send you an updated email with drop-off locations. One is here at this administrative office, so feel free, but we would love it if you would participate. And then, so finally, since there seems to be no end in sight that for when we can gather in person safely, we would like to go ahead and move forward with honoring Stan Fawcett for his 30 years of service to the Parks Board. I have asked Janet to select a suitable gift or recognition item. Not a perfect gift, since we can't possibly thank Stan enough for all of his support, dedication, and service. And hopefully we can do this in January, but if not, we will certainly be coordinating with Stan and his availability to make sure that we acknowledge his contribution and his many years of service to the Parks Board and support to the department. And that is all I have for today. Any questions?
Are there any questions for Director Odom? Seeing none, we'll move now to announcements, requests for future agenda items, and open items. Are there any from the board? We'll move to Odom.
Madam Chair, I think there had been, well, no, not I think, I know, the Parks Board had welcomed revisiting the private Confederate monument that is in Centennial Park, opening a discussion about that, and had proposed to have that discussion when we met in person. Again, with no end in sight as to when we will be able to safely meet in public. We'll put that on the January Parks Board agenda at the request of Commissioner Scott Barnes.
Agreed. Thank you so much. Are there any other announcements, requests for future agenda items, or open items from our board? Seeing none, we want to wish you all a happy holidays. Next time we see you in this format will be in 2021. So have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all of those things. We want to just say, be safe, and we are adjourned. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.